Timelines for me are a big thing, and right now they are so fluid that having to ebb and flow with the nuanced changes of things that are happening has been a different experience for me. One that frankly required me to come outside of my comfort zone of so much structure. You know how you put something out there, you have an offer and you're like, yep, this is it. Everybody's going to love it. You open your doors and it's like crickets. I don't want that to happen. I want to actively build with you. What I had as a Q1 timeline is no longer that. It's a little bit of a pause, and it's taking the pause to understand what's happening in the government space. Welcome back, BOMU besties, to another episode of She Built Success. I'm your host, Claudia. Let's get on into it. Okay, so today we are officially in the She Built Success studio. I am super excited. You'll see some of the behind the scenes here in a sec, but hang tight. So today I wanted to talk about timelines, and I want to talk about timelines because for me, I'm a type A personality, and I like to plan, and I like to have things in order and make sure I know, what's happening when, by when. The whole 12-week year is like my jam, but I had to scratch all that. And timelines of late have been rather fluid, and not fluid as in not productive, but fluid as in needing to be flexible, needing to give myself grace. A lot of the times when I go through, even planning for the podcast, I go through and I try to think about, well, what is going to be the central theme for the podcast for that particular season? What type of guests do I want to have on? What kind of journeys are we going to unlock or uncover? What kind of stories are we going to tell? And even for my business, it's like, okay, what type of contracts are we looking to go after? Is it going to be more on the project management side of IT, or is it going to be more on the AI data analytics side of IT? Or even in small business, no, that's just the whole under construction right now. But timelines for me are a big thing. And right now they are so fluid that having to ebb and flow with the nuanced changes of things that are happening has been a different experience for me. One that frankly, I can't say I'm used to it, but has required me to come outside of my comfort zone of so much structure. And right now, what I'm looking at doing for timelines is taking a little bit of a step back, and looking at the government contracting landscape right now. It is very tumultuous and uncertain, and being able to be okay with that, and knowing that what I had as a Q1 timeline or a Q2 timeline is no longer that. It's a little bit of a pause, and it's taking the pause to understand what's happening in the government space. Now, to me, it's not going to go away. I mean, frankly, government contracting is part of my lines of business as a company. It is something that we're good at, and we are able to support. And more often than not, the types of contracts that we support are ones that are considered essential. And so what that means is even when things happen, because the contract is considered essential, you're still working. For me, I don't see it completely going away, but I do see it taking more of a background view, if you will. So it's not going to be, for me, so much at the forefront. It is still there. It is still something that I feel like I'm going to school again to relearn all the different nuances and language and regulations and things that used to be available that no longer are available, and opportunities that used to be there that completely fizzled out. And so redeveloping relationships, learning new people within the various agencies. But you may not hear me talk as much about government contracting as I've had in past seasons. And that is because it is now in the background, and my timeline in the foreground or in the forefront is on the small business side, and building out a community and developing the relationships and getting to know you all listeners, you all watchers and viewers here on YouTube, and understanding what you're looking for when it comes to growing and scaling, starting, or even shifting in your business. The timeline, and it's kind of like, how you put something out there, you have an offer and you're like, yep, this is it. Everybody's going to love it. You open your doors and it's like crickets. Like, I don't want to happen. I don't want that to happen. I want to actively build with you. And so each week we're going to be breaking down a little bit of what this timeline and this build looks like within the company, within my company. And I'm going to take you along. And sometimes you'll probably get a rundown, almost like a Dear Diary. And other times you're going to get a quick hit. This is something that we did, and this is how it worked, and this is how I did it, and we're in and out. But for me, timelines right now are very flexible, and I'm trying to embrace the flexibility without being so type A. There is still goals that we're trying to achieve as a company, not just revenue goals, but also outcomes in terms of the more softer side of things. So I keep enforcing community because for me, it is a big thing. And I guess I'll also say community is not just like a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or a circle type of a platform. It really is how is engagement happening in the comments? Are people connecting in the comments within the video? Are there elements that I'm talking about that you're like, yep, I need to figure out how to do that, or I'm not quite sure how to do that, let me ask a question? Because let me tell you something, y'all comment, I actually do respond. It's a real thing for me. I'd much rather be of service if I can on that front initially, so we get to know each other. So community to me right now is finding my people, and that timeline of when will this happen, I have to be okay with it taking time. I would say in the past, like I said, 12-week years, my MO and how I operate with things most of the time, and having to kind of not rely on my own timeline and let things play out as they will is a bit foreign. I'll be honest. It feels like it feels fuzzy to me, and fuzzy is weird because it's not concrete. And so I'm trying to actively be okay with the fact that it's going to be a little bit not developed, and that's okay. And so if I were to now I do have loose guardrails on this thing. So it's not like I'm just out here like, yeah, I'm just going to stay here for a year and wait for community to really happen. No, I mean, there's active things that I am doing, like being in the comments, like continuing to post content and videos and interacting with others' posts and content. Like, that's not going to go away. I've always done that. That's something that I genuinely enjoy. It's how I've met a number of other entrepreneurs and small business owners, even in the government space, and in various agencies. That's how I've met, is by interacting and having comments. And no, we're not all best friends, but we do have a sense of cohesion and community in and of itself. So yeah, so this platform and the timeline that is going to be this community build out, if you will, I would like to say, within 3 to 6 months, things should start forming and developing. But again, it may happen faster. It may take a little bit longer. I don't know. So y'all are with me on this ride. But really and truly, it's the timeline aspect of this all, just being able to be okay with, I guess it's almost like going slow. Like in the islands, things are like usually like laid back. Like, okay, so my background, my mom's Jamaican, my dad's American. So West Indian is like a real thing in this household. And so like, it's like real chill, real laid back. But right now, for me, the chill laid back is what I have to embrace versus the almost like New York, gotta move, everything's going, go type, I guess type like quick pace, always trying to do something. And so I'm having to take the step back to elongate this timeline to see what comes out of it. But I feel like it's going to start with community and then grow from there. And so, no, there's no like hard and fast offer right now. Yes, there are plenty of resources on the She Built Success website that are going to continue to stay on the website, that could be used at your disposal. Everything from vision planning all the way through government contract downloads. So there is a lot of resources available, and I want to continue to make that available because to me, I don't know where you are in your journey. And so if I can be a little bit of a resource in one way or another, in one capacity or another, I want to continue to do that. So I'm inviting you along on this elongated, I guess, quasi-relaxed timeline of what is She Built Success, what is Capital Consulting Group, my company, and what that looks like. I'm going to be sharing some more of the government contracting side as me and the team come up to speed with what's happening. I did actually, it's funny, I actually went through a program in a local college here that walked you through the federal market and what things look like. This was just after the election happened. So things were shifting still. Nothing was changing in that regards just yet. And so I actually did go through that. And so I enjoy staying abreast and staying educated on what's happening, but there's been a lot that's changed. And so I recognize that even for me, I want to take a step back and really understand, okay, how is this impacting not only me as a small business, as a company, but how would it impact you if you're potentially looking to get in that space or grow in that space, or add that line of business to your existing company. So coming along this journey is going to be, it'll be interesting. I think it'll, in a good way, not a bad way. It'll be interesting. You may hear some weeks, the status update on the government contracting side, and others you may hear this is what's being put together on the small business side of the house. And when I use those two terms, again, those are two different lines of business within my company. So I'm excited for this. She Built Success. The build is going to continue, and I'm going to continue to bring you along with me, whether it's some of the behind the scenes raw build out of the things that I do in Airtable, or it's something fun that I get to do like on the road. Nevertheless, I hope that you continue to tune in on each episode here on She Built Success. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next episode.